I'm George Flinn. Welcome to the program. And today we have a very special guest this guest is going to teach you things that you never thought were real. And I can tell you, he is the living proof of this. This is not some come on, this is the real deal. Tom Zeeb, he's a friend of mine for years. He's been in this business. He knows how to get you to do the right things. Tom, welcome.
Thanks,
Welcome
George.
to the
Good
show.
to be here. Thank you.
And tell us what it is you do. I know, sort of, but just for you, I want you to know what he does. So start from the beginning.
Absolutely. I teach, in a nutshell, I teach people how to make money without money in real estate investing,
Okay.
which is perfect to go off on your own, either as a side business or to become full-time as a real estate investor. Not a licensed agent, a real estate investor who will find distressed properties, put them under, negotiate good deals, put them under contract, and sell them to another investor who will hold it as a landlord or rehab it as a rehabber.
Okay, but the trick that you have is being able to do this with very little or no money.
Correct.
Okay. How did you get into this?
I got started when I was sick and tired of my job. I didn't like my job. I wanted to move on, and I kind of started feeling an entrepreneurial passion inside, and I didn't know what to do with it. So I said, I want to get into real estate. How do I get into real estate? And that was a difficult thing because I thought you need a lot of money to get started.
That's what I would think. You need
exactly.
a whole lot of money.
You need a whole lot of money for down payments, for this. And I stumbled around for quite a while before I, almost by accident, did a deal where I had it under contract and another investor offered to buy the contract from me. I said, oh, you could do that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then
So
I realized I could do this
you had it under contract
intentionally.
and sold it before you
Correct.
closed
I sold
it.
the contract, not even the house.
You sold the contract?
I sold the contract.
Okay.
So we have I had a property under control, and I just sold the contract on it, and that is some people call that wholesaling. I like to call it rapid cash generation because that's exactly what it does.
The trick to that would be to know what to buy that would be sellable
Yes.
rapidly.
Oh, absolutely. So you have to know how to analyze a property and what it's worth, and there's easy ways of figuring that out. What is the property worth? How much would it take to make it worth that? How much would it take in repair? And then how good of a job can you do negotiating that deal with that motivated seller? And usually if the seller is motivated because there's something wrong in their life and they need to sell the property more than they even want to, that winds up being the key. You help them out of their situation, at the same time you get a good deal under contract that you can then sell to another investor.
Do you have to have the mindset of I'm willing to walk away
Always.
from a deal?
Always. There's no one deal that you absolutely need to do. In fact, I would argue if you don't have that mindset, you smell desperate and people sense it.
Don't do that.
So even if you're dead broke, like I was when I started, don't let on. Just go in and be professional in what you're doing and handle yourself professionally, and you will progress through.
Okay, and when you're teaching people, how long does it take? What kind of course do you have to do this, and how long does it take? And is it 5 easy steps or 12 easy steps, or what would you say?
I do it I cover it in 3 major steps. Find the deal, which is marketing.
Right.
Make the deal, which is negotiation, and get paid, which is from the moment they say yes in the negotiation, what contract to use, how to manage it through, what pitfalls to watch out for and avoid to get it to the finish line. I teach that in a 3-day seminar, a 3-day boot camp. I call it my Rapid Cash Generation Boot Camp. And then I have a home study system that goes with that as well, so that you have all the marketing materials, the negotiation techniques, and the legal contracts that you need to succeed.
Can people get the home study without the boot camp, or do you suggest the boot camp and then the home study? Or
I suggest both. You are able to get the home study alone and just have the system, and if you can read it and listen to it and put it into action, terrific. The boot camp adds to it because we're able to get into the nuances of the business. And my goal at the boot camp is that everyone who attends, to move them up multiple rungs of the ladder from wherever they come in at. So I have people that are complete beginners. I got people that are intermediate. I got people that are advanced. I want to move them up the rungs of the ladder each time.
Okay, I'm sure some people are right now interested. They don't want to wait till the end. How do they contact you?
Sure. Easiest way is online. You can go to tomzeeb.com. That's TomZeeb.com. TEEB as in boy,
Tom Zeeb, and it'll be on the screen here.
TomZeeb.com.
TomZeeb.com.
or TractionRealEstateMentors.com.
Okay,
Both sites have a lot of information. Both sites have a lot of free information for people, gifts, and some downloadable bonuses, audio to get you started.
right. So you come into this and say people know nothing about it, they just want to, they have the fire in the belly. You would say, to be able to make it, like you've made it.
Yes,
And you started with nothing.
correct.
Okay, and you find out how to make the deal. Is each of the 3 days one of the steps
No, the 3 days is a blend of the
all
steps.
the steps?
I have to teach it in layers and move around so people are, that keep you interested, keep you learning, and keep you progressing through.
Okay, and how often do you do your boot camp?
I hold a boot camp 3 times a year.
Okay, and then you have them in different central locations, or
Usually in the Washington, D.C. area.
okay,
I find it best, even if people are in other locations, they're best coming into town. and
so they
traveling
won't
for
have
it.
other
There's
things
no
on their mind.
distractions.
Right.
You have nothing else on your mind, and you're focused on what you need to be focusing on.
Okay, so they come in and the course starts about what time? In
The
the
course runs 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
We run
So
9 to 6
It
for 3
starts
days.
about 9 a.m. and they're expected to be there. Pay. Is it hard? Is it difficult?
No, I make it easy.
Okay.
Also make it exciting. Even people say, "Oh, legal contracts are boring." I make them exciting. It's not.
Yeah.
There's nothing boring about making money and changing the whole trajectory of your life. So no, it's not difficult. Very convenient. You don't need cash. You don't need credit. You don't need a lot of experience. What you need is the drive to get out there, take my system and implement it from a marketing perspective. That'll start bringing leads in to you. You then analyze those leads. The good ones, you get under contract, you negotiate them, negotiate a good price.
Right.
They say yes. You put it under contract using the contracts I give you in the system. And then you find a buyer and manage that through to your settlement, to your close escrow on the property.
Okay. So you have the boot camp, then you have that's 3 days,
Correct.
and then the self-study of the home study course.
Mm-hmm.
How long does that take you to go through that about?
Depends. Some
Right.
people
It
are.
depends on how much
It
you
depends.
do, yeah.
Some people are fast readers, and there's also a lot to listen to.
Okay.
And
So
there's a
it's
lot
a
of interactive
combination of
exercises.
audio
Combination audio,
and
reading,
reading.
and some exercises to do and
Okay.
practice to put into place. That way, no matter which way you like to learn, I've got you covered.
Do you have any ongoing mentorship that you do, or do you, once they're done, are they?
All done through the boot camp.
Yeah,
So,
so they know whatever they need to know.
correct. And what I've been doing with the boot camp to take care of that is once you're in for life. So you can come 3 times a year for
You can
as
come
long
to
as
the
you
boot
want.
camp?
Come to the boot camp 3
again?
times a year. I have people that have attended multiple times because
Really?
I want it to grow as you grow. So you're going to grow with the boot camp, and
So it's not a one-time thing?
it's not a one-time thing.
And what?
Because you're
what
going to grow.
times
I want to be able to reinforce and move you up multiple. The first time you come, you're probably going to really focus on
Information
marketing,
overload,
right?
yeah.
Information overload. Admittedly, you're drinking from a fire hose. You're going to want to get your focus on marketing. Maybe next time you come back, realize you need to sharpen up on becoming an awesome negotiator, even if you fear it and even if you don't like negotiation. When you learn the techniques, learn what they are, you realize you can use them easily and with kind of grace and style. And then the third time someone comes, they focus more. It depends. I have one student who's been in my last 4 boot camps straight, and he's had a phenomenal year. His numbers are off the chart, close to just shy of $250,000 in real estate deals. Basically, he went from 0 to 60 in just about a month, which
Wow.
is way above my promise. I tell people that my goal at the boot camp is to add $100,000 to your bottom line in the next 12 months. From
Okay.
doing real estate deals. So he blew that out of the water. I've got students only doing $20,000 or $30,000. It depends anywhere, from that
For
up
the
to
year?
$250,000
For
for
the
the
year.
year.
Yeah.
For the year. It's how much, it's going to come down to how much are you ready, willing, and able to focus and implement what I teach you.
Okay. Now, we'll go to let's go to the worst case
Okay.
scenario.
Uh-huh.
Because people want to say,
Yeah.
it's too good to be true.
Correct.
What can happen to you potentially if you don't follow the rules, don't follow the system? I mean, do you get these properties and can you not sell them, or what happens to
If you get stuck, One of the things I've built into my system are protections and safeties.
That's what we want to hear about, is the
Correct.
protections.
I don't want you getting stuck with a deal that, let's say you messed it up and the numbers aren't right and you can't sell the deal. I don't want you being forced to have to buy it. So the way my contracts are worded and the clauses that I've put in there with the attorneys that
Right.
I've designed my system with, it is designed to, you can get out if needed. So if something goes horribly wrong, there's
There's an out.
There's an out in
Okay,
case.
so you are protected, actually.
You are protected.
You go into this and, you put a lot of time and effort into it.
Correct.
But financially, it's not going to break you
No.
in case.
Worst comes to worst, you've spent some time on something that's not going anywhere, and you've spent on the marketing budget, but you're spending on your marketing anyway
Right.
to bring more leads in. And George, honestly, with even deals that don't go anywhere, it's a learning lesson.
Yeah,
along
you
the way.
learn something
You learn
from it.
something along the way, and you know what to do better next time. So I spent time at the boot camp walking people through mistakes I've made in the past.
Okay.
That way, they don't have to go and make the same mistakes again.
No sense reinventing the
No,
mistake wheel.
no, exactly.
Yeah. Well, that's fantastic. What would you suggest to people that are looking at this, thinking about it, thinking, well, maybe it works, maybe it doesn't? What is the big risk to them to come to the boot camp and try it out?
I think there is no risk there. The risk is never doing anything and then wondering what your life could have been like.
Right.
It's almost a kind of reverse.
Because
on
this
it.
could change your family.
Could change everything for you.
Could change.
It changed everything for me.
Yeah.
I haven't had a job in 15 years, and I'm
Yeah.
happy that way.
What did you do before?
Some consulting and.
What is a job you didn't like?
Yeah, it was okay. It just wasn't. It was IT consulting. It was okay.
Didn't set the world on fire.
No, it
for you.
didn't. And I wanted, and you get to a certain point where you realize you want more. And I wanted to have control over my time and control over my money and be able to travel and be able to, pursue hobbies and not be limited by the time and not be limited by the money. And that's the only way I was going to get that was to be off on my own as an entrepreneur. And the only way I could find to become an entrepreneur quickly in business was real estate investing, because I don't need a fancy degree, I don't need a PhD, you don't need any of that. You can get started with who you are, no matter what your background is, where you're from. None of that matters. What matters is you and what you put into it going forward.
How many deals do you have going at once, would you say? I mean, you probably have a lot.
Yeah, I always have multiple irons in the fire. Personally, I aim to do 15 deals a year, so it's
Okay.
slightly more than one a month.
Okay.
And that's a lifestyle choice for me to keep a nice cadence, a nice pace. I have people
But
say,
you
I
don't
want to
have
do
to
100.
have 50 going at
No,
once.
50
Okay.
deals, 100 deals. That kind of sounds like the job I was trying to escape.
Okay, okay.
So I tell people, you're not aiming for that. Most people aim for your first deal, snowball and it rolls.
Okay.
Most people's goals when they come into my program, after they get through their first deals, they want to match their salary. That way they can quit their job.
They can quit, yeah.
And then they tend to want to double.
Okay.
So if you come in and let's say you want to match a $30,000 salary or a $50,000 salary, normally after you do that, then you want to double. And it's just a matter of adding more deals into your pipeline in that given year.
Tom Zeeb, thank you very much for being here. Tell us once again how they may contact
Sure.
you.
You can on the web at tomzeeb.com, TOMZEEB as in boy,
Right.
or tractionrealestatementors.com.
Tom, thank you very much
Thanks,
for
George.
being here. And I'm sure you learned something today, and let's put it into action. Thank you.